Alright, ladies and gents, we are back with another boss fight. It is a Winstrate Vito, Falibor Town. We have a couple of Pokemon here who are pre-toxic. I'm not entirely sure when we trigger this fight, so I might just have to keep inching forward ever so slightly here. But this is the team. I did predict when we caught this Drapion that that was going to be our answer to Vito's Alakazam, and it does seem like it is basically our only answer. Like, we could have used Luxray for it, but I mean, Luxray is needed for, you know, either the Crobat or the Swellow, so very, very important that we got that Drapion encounter. Very, very lucky there. So let's just inch forward. There he is. Okay, we did take a toxic tick, so let's just quickly heal ourselves back. Don't want to be taking any unnecessary damage here. Okay, and then we'll try and trigger the fight. Are you going to look at me? There we go. Got a crawl from my grandmother about this incredible trainer, the one that didn't realise that the Medicham had inner focus instead of pure power. Yeah, that one. I've just been waiting to battle you ever since. Okay, let's get into this. So, Vito's going to lead with Alakazam. It has a focus sash, which means that we can't one-hit KO it. Our special defenses are just good enough that the two highest rolls of Aura Sphere leave us on 1 HP, no joke. And a Charge Beam into the highest roll of Aura Sphere also leaves us on 1 HP. So this is, you know, absolutely mad. We can use Knockoff or X-Scissor, just 2 of them will work. They don't have like move like Flail or anything like that, so we'll just go Knockoff. It's notionally highest damage. Okay, so Focus Sash gets knocked off. Alakazam will attack again. It won't be able to kill. It's going to proc our Oran Berry, not our Citrus Berry, our Oran Berry. This is because we need Crobat, who's in next, to see a kill. So, at this HP wasn't guaranteed. I needed to be 17 HP or higher to do this. But at 17 HP, this is either Heat Wave or Sludge Bomb. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Mamoswine to get a guaranteed Giga Drain switch for our Luxray. Yeah, because a Heat Wave switch like would have been okay, but a Sludge Bomb switch would kind of have been a disaster, so kind of needed to do that. And now we go into Kitty on what should be Giga Drain. I think in theory it can be Nasty Plot. But if it is, that doesn't matter because we're taking 1 attack rather than 2. So having doubled special attack doesn't really matter. Yeah. That should be okay. I think we might need to live crit now. And we're going to Wild Charge. Do I die to recoil plus toxic is the question. I think I do. Oh, just lived. Wow. So this is Breloom for like any move. We going into Amanda. so that's okay. Ideally, I'd like you to stop, please. There we go. So we are going to not just defeat this Breloom, but we're going to need to try and defeat this Breloom at high HP so that we can take on the Crawdaunt as well, which means we're going to try and stall it a bit. And this will use up its fighting gem. We have a citrus berry that we need to use because we need to not be holding an item when Crawdaunt comes out later. Oh, of course, grass types are immune to poison moves. Alright, well that's fine. We will just synth here. And then start Giga Draining. Hopefully we'll get an Effect Spore proc at some point that will make this stall a little bit easier. Just want to make sure we kill it on maximum possible HP. Maybe Effect Spore doesn't affect grass types either. That's possible, I guess. Okay, I think one more than a synth, then hopefully a killing Giga Drain is the ideal here. Synth again, I want to go to full. Okay, right. Please KO. No crit there is good. Perfect, right. So 152 HP. I mean, I'd hope to be full, but obviously the poison powder strategy didn't work as intended. But this basically means it's Swellow, it's always Brave Bird, which is a minimum requirement for what needed to happen there. We're going to go to Demelza. So that's going to be Recoil, that's going to be Iron Barbs. Now we're going to Fake Out. We get Life Orb Chip. And now we go into Mamoswine on what should only be Heat Wave. Mamoswine is pre-toxic, so it can't be burned. It has a citrus berry to restore HP here. And we don't have to worry about Swellow being faster than us because we are powerful enough to kill this at this HP with Ice Shard. Perfect. Right. Now we're getting to the diciest part of the line, and I think that the way that things have gone so far, there are going to need to be some sacks. But in an ideal world, this should always be Aqua Jet, and so we're going to use up the very scary Water Gem going into Amoonguss. I'd absolutely love to see an Effect Spore proc here. Nope, we're not getting one. Giga Drain? We don't have an item now. Ooh, we definitely need to live crit there, that's good. Okay. What to do now? What to do now? Knowing what it's going for is probably helpful. So without Water Gem, the highest damaging move on me is always Knock Off. Can't switch Infinite in on that though, otherwise I'll lose my Wise Glasses. Can't switch Togedemaru in on it either because it's still got its item. I think the best thing to do is... Because the problem with killing this with Amanda is that Aggron could come out and use Earthquake, which means we need to do another sack because Cheeky is killing Aggron. So what we need to do, I think, is we need to sack Luxray. We need to kill the Crawdaunt with Fake Out, which will go before Aqua Jet. And then Cheeky can finish off the Aggron. And that's what we got to do. That feels right. Just check that, yeah, Fake Out's easily going to do enough to kill here. So we are going to say goodbye to our Luxray. It's come on so many important fights. It dealt with Norman's Pidgeot. It dealt with Shell's Togekiss. It's been an absolute beast this run, and we're going to miss it dearly. But this is the time to say goodbye to Kitty. And now Cheeky can take us home. Okay, now Aggron comes out, Mega Evolves, and dies to Overheat. Goodbye. And that's Vito. Nice. Risky fight, that one. The Pokemon are so powerful. I was just not able to find really a riskless line on anything at all, but it worked out. I think we managed to minimise the risk pretty well with the pre-toxicking to make sure that we couldn't get burned and therefore could always KO. But we were definitely we were risking crits on that Crobat in the end. We were risking crits on the Crawdaunt. The Crawdaunt was such a problem, honestly. As was the Swellow. In fact, everything, really. Yeah, we're through. Amazing.